There is a quiet moment before every decision, a breath, a hesitation, a flicker of doubt that whispers, "What if I fail?" That whisper has a name. We call it fear. It hides behind ambition, behind confidence, behind every mask we wear to survive. You can't see it, but it shapes everything you do. It's the invisible architect of your limits. And the strange truth is, every person who ever reached greatness learned to build with it, not run from it. Most people think fear is the enemy. They see it as a wall, a warning, a reason to stop. But fear is not the wall. Fear is the map. It points exactly where you need to go. And the stronger it pulls, the more certain you can be that you're standing on the edge of something important. The mind evolved fear as protection. Long ago, it kept us alive. We feared the dark because predators hid there. We feared rejection because being cast out meant death. We feared failure because mistakes could cost everything. But the world changed faster than the brain. Now, the same instinct that once saved us is the one that traps us. It makes us run from the unknown, even when the unknown is the only place we can grow. Every dream begins with fear. Every goal, every risk, every leap into the unknown. All begin with that same racing heartbeat. The difference between ordinary people and extraordinary ones isn't that the successful are fearless. It's that they've learned to use fear as fuel. When fear shouts stop, they listen carefully, not to obey it, but to understand it. Because hidden in every fear is the information you need most. Imagine fear as fire. Left alone, it burns you. Controlled, it forges steel. That's what successful people understand. They don't seek comfort. They seek clarity. They don't avoid fear. They study it. Because inside fear lies focus. When you're afraid, your senses sharpen, your attention narrows, your mind becomes present. Fear brings you into the now, the only place success ever happens. Music drops to silence, faint echo of breath. But most people don't stay there. They retreat. They run from the feeling before they ever discover what it was trying to show them. That's how fear wins, not by attack, but by distraction. It makes you invent excuses. It makes you delay, negotiate, rationalize. And in doing so, it protects you from growth. Camera pans across faces in a crowd, all looking down at their phones, unaware of each other. Society rewards comfort. It teaches us to avoid pain, avoid risk, avoid uncertainty. But success, real success, is born in the exact opposite environment. It's born in sleepless nights, in trembling hands before a decision, in the silence between your heartbeat and your next move. That's where transformation lives, the space between terror and action. Low percussion enters, heartbeat rhythm returns. Fear is not an obstacle, it's an indicator. It means you're moving towards something that matters. It means your old self is fighting for survival because your new self is trying to emerge. And that battle hurts. It feels like anxiety. It feels like doubt. It feels like panic. But that's not weakness. That's birth. Soft strings swell. Every person you admire once stood where you are now, afraid, uncertain, unsure. The difference is, they stepped forward anyway. They didn't wait for courage. They created it, one step at a time. And that's what most people misunderstand about fear. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is the decision that something else matters more. Visual, shadowed silhouette takes one step forward into light. You can study all the psychology in the world, amygdala responses, fight or flight triggers, evolutionary biology, but it always leads back to this truth. Fear is a signal, not a sentence. It tells you, this is new, this is uncertain, This is where you'll grow, if you dare to stay. Music builds, cinematic drums pulse quietly. Fear doesn't disappear when you become successful. It just changes shape. At first, it's the fear of failure. Then it becomes the fear of success itself. The fear of losing what you've built. The fear of not living up to expectations. The fear of change. Success doesn't kill fear. It feeds it new forms. But that's the secret nobody tells you. The higher you climb, the quieter your victories, and the louder your fears. Piano melody changes, darker tone. Because once you achieve something, the mind doesn't rest. It asks, what if this ends? What if I fall? What if they find out I'm not who they think I am? That's not insecurity. That's evolution. The same mechanism that once kept you safe from predators now tries to protect your ego. But successful minds recognize that fear not as truth, but as energy. Energy that can be channeled, redirected, mastered. Visual, slow-motion shot of waves crashing against rocks. They use fear as momentum. They don't wait for it to vanish. They ride it like a current, letting it sharpen their awareness, fuel their preparation, deepen their focus. Because fear is clarity disguised as chaos. When you strip away its disguise, you see what it's really saying. This matters. Don't waste it. Music fades to a single haunting note. People think the fearless win. But it's not the fearless. It's the ones who feel fear fully and move anyway. They know fear doesn't disappear when you act. It transforms. From paralysis into power, from tension into timing, from doubt into data. That transformation is the psychology of fear and success. Success is the ultimate goal, right? Something we all dream about, chase after, and often define our entire lives by. So what happens when the thought of reaching our loftiest goals fills us with anxiety instead of excitement? The fear of success involves being afraid of achievement, often to the point that people will sabotage themselves. While success is generally viewed as desirable, there are reasons why people may be fearful of doing well. But people are often not afraid of success itself. It's all the other stuff that comes with it, aka the consequences of success. That's because success often comes with costs. In order to reach our goals, we know we'll have to make sacrifices or endure losses. So it's not surprising that people are wary of what success might ultimately cost them. How can you tell if the fear of success might keep you from reaching your goals? Keep reading to learn more about how to spot the signs, understand the causes, and notice the effects of this fear. We'll also explore some strategies you can use to help you manage and overcome the fear that might be holding you back. Characteristics of the fear of success. The fear of success isn't always easy to spot. Some signs that a person might have this fear include lack of goals. By having very low expectations, people ensure that they never make any real headway toward success. Giving up. In many cases, people derail their own success by quitting right before it seems they are about to succeed. Procrastination. Putting things off until the last minute means that people aren't doing their best or most thoughtful work, which can seriously impair their chances of succeeding. Self-handicapping. People who fear success may put obstacles in their path that decrease their chances of success. These behaviors can range from minor acts of self-sabotage to more serious self-destructive behaviors. The problem is that a fear of success doesn't always look how you'd expect. Instead, it's often mistaken for laziness, lack of motivation, and poor discipline. From the outside, it might look like the person just doesn't care. No matter how this fear manifests, it can keep people stuck and prevent them from living their lives to the fullest. Fear of success is complex and typically doesn't have a single identifiable cause. Factors like imposter syndrome, emotional dysregulation, and fear of backlash can play a part. Research also suggests that internal factors such as negative experiences, poor self-efficacy, shyness, and social anxiety also contribute to a fear of success. Imposter syndrome can sometimes contribute to the fear of success. Sometimes people who experience success fear their achievements are undeserved or not as good as others in their field. People may fear that they won't be able to live up to expectations or that other people will discover that they aren't up for the challenge.